season 3 and we back. We back. We back. It's season 3 and we back.
Hello. We are feeling good. As you can tell, Holly's making up songs. But I'm Melanie Loren.
And I'm Hollee Chanel.
And this is It for Sweet and High.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just super excited to be back for season 3, homie.
Yes, the audacity of us to come back for a season 3.
The unmitigated gall.
That is what we're going to be talking about, everybody. We're talking about audacity, the audacity. Now, we told you, if you listened to our sneak peek, our preview of season 3 that we had back on Juneteenth, we told you what to expect this season, and we are going to be dipping into the audacity.
And some of it's going to be sweet.
Some of it is going to be sweet. Some of it's going to be a little spicy, though.
Absolutely. 100%.
Some of it's going to be a little spicy, like a little bit today. You know, we got, I would say today's audacity, it's kind of, it can be sweet at times, but we're really going to lean into some more entertaining, some more juicy audacity that's trends down on the other side on the spectrum. And I bet you, Hollee, this is something that so many people in our listening audience can relate to.
All I'm gonna say is that this can't be what Whitney was talking about.
When she said the children are our future,
could not.
Whitney, you believe that based on what?
But
if we could talk to Whitney, I would say based on what?
Who?
Because this right here,
this ain't
you
it.
weren't talking about these kids.
Not these here. No, ma'am. And
so
no,
what's the title of this episode, Hollee?
The title of this episode is FTK. That's
now some of y'all need no further explanation,
and I'm not getting ready to elaborate because
you're gonna pick it up. It's an acronym. And I'm just gonna say that the T and the K stand for
these kids,
right?
These kids.
So you're smart. You can fill in the rest.
Before we jump into all of that, homie, because I have a feeling, I feel my blood pressure rising already. And I'm just the auntie. Okay.
Right. Neither one of us have birthed children into this world.
Neither one.
We're not responsible legally for any children, but we still feel like we can chime in on this.
Baby.
And we do have a guest who has birthed children. She's going to have some stories to tell. But before we get to all of that,
what's sweet? What's hot with you, homie?
Let's do sweet and high like we always do. We know y'all missed us. We wouldn't leave you without the sweet and without the hot. So let's do a little bit of sweet and hot to kick off this next episode of season 3.
Now, what you got? You got sweet or hot this week, ma'am?
So I got some sweet. I got something sweet.
Okay.
So just yesterday, at the time of this recording, just yesterday, I got a chance to sort of check off one of the items on my bucket list.
What? Okay, is that a little bit pregnant or what? Like, I don't.
No.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Sort of checked off.
Let me clarify, because your mind went somewhere completely. That's not accurate. No.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
So it's always been on my bucket list to be on a game show.
Okay, cool. What game show were you on?
Yesterday. Okay, so I wasn't televised. That's why I said sort of. It wasn't televised. Okay. I still want to be on Celebrity Jeopardy one day. Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a different story.
Hey, Ken Jennings.
Yeah, listen up, Ken.
Holler at Mel.
But yesterday I got a chance to play on a game show. I had a game show experience.
Okay.
Because I went to this place for my friend's birthday party called Game Show Challenge. And let me tell you, this was legit. The way it was set up. They took us into this dark black room that was set up like a studio. It was 3 teams. There were 21 of us for my friend's party. We had stools with stations and buzzers. There was the big wheel, like on Wheel of Fortune.
Were there batteries in the buzzer? Because there were
batteries in the buzzer.
That taboo buzzer, you can't never find the batteries for it, ever.
You just have to make a sound.
But this was legit.
This was legit.
Okay.
This was legit. Everything was in working order. They had the spotlights on us. We had our game show hosts for the experience.
No, ma'am.
Corny jokes in true game show host style. And we had like a Wheel of Fortune type game. They had like the Plinko where you drop the disc. down and it hits the little nail heads and it goes into one of the slots and that determines how much money you win. We
Yeah.
had like stuff like that. We had like Family Feud, like answer question and answer. It was so much fun. We were all very grown, and my friends got to see a different side of me yesterday because I was excited like a little kid.
Were you excited or were you uber competitive, Melanie?
Does it have to be either or?
No, okay, never mind.
Does that answer your question?
It does, 100%. 100%.
I was competitive, but I also had fun. Okay. I might have cut somebody out at one time. I will say that in advance. So if you hear that, yes, the stories are true.
But nevertheless,
it was all in fun.
It was off the bucket list though, for the most part.
Yes. Okay, so no, that's my sweet. We're gonna still work on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, what is your hot?
Oh, Melanie. Wow. You were at the game show experience. I was on a 3-way call fighting for my life. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Okay. Now, the question is, how does one fight for one's life on a 3-way calling? Well, if you have a mother who completely abuses the feature, my mama. And here's the thing, and I love my mother dearly. Everybody knows this.
As do I.
I love my mother, and and as she ages, she is turning into the cutest little old lady that is much to her chagrin, but much to my amusement. Okay. But if I call my mama one more time and she patches me into a 3-way call
without your consent,
without my consent, I am going to scream. It is so bad. So, okay, so the Dipped with Sweet Hot audience is familiar with my brother, Robert Charles. He was a guest last season on the show, right? So, me and my brother have a great, wonderful relationship, but we don't need to talk that often.
There's an understanding.
There's an understanding, we call each other like if it's needed or something. But I promise you, the last 5 times I've talked to my brother, it's because one of us was already on the phone with my mama when the other called. And she says, "Oh, hold on. Let me patch you in to your sibling. I don't want to talk to him. I called to talk to you. I called to talk to you, mama."
And so what happened on this latest edition of abuse of 3-way calling?
It doesn't matter because as soon as she patches you in, whatever length you thought the phone call was going to be, it's going to be double.
Triple. Double.
Minimum is double.
Okay.
Yeah, average is triple. Okay. Because now I got to get an update on what my brother is going through that he did not volunteer.
Right. So he got put on the spot as well.
He gets put on the spot. And she says, "Oh, so this is normally how it goes." Okay. All right. So me and you are on the phone, Mel, right? And then my brother will call and I'm my mother. She'll be like, "Oh, it's Big Bob. Let me patch him in." And so
there's an assumption being made here that we all want to talk to each other. And it's faulty.
And by the time you say wait, she's already gone. And let me say something here. I was a proponent from my mother getting an iPhone. iPhone has made it way too easy
to patch in.
Because it used to be that you had to make the phone calls. But if somebody calls you while you are on another phone call, you can patch. Everybody gets patched in.
Everybody in there, whether they want to be or not.
Melanie. So while you were at the game show experience,
you were trying to figure out an exit strategy?
I was trying to figure out an exit strategy. So shout out to my brother, Robert Charles, because he was like, "Dude, just hang up."
Just say it was a bad connection.
Just say it was a bad connection.
I can't hear you. It's so much static.
And what's so crazy, Melanie, what's so crazy is that my mother sometimes does this at the most inopportune time. The most recent being when I was in the chair at the salon. Okay. So fellow dippers, you may have noticed.
I was just about to say, I wondered if you should do this week because we got to talk about this hair, honey.
She needed to make a change. Yeah.
Do blondes have more fun? That's what they say. Do blondes have more fun?
It's been less than a week,
Okay.
and I don't think I should be outside much longer. I think I need to start working on cuffing season early this year.
Ooh,
Yeah, I should start working early this
wait till it
year.
gets a little cool outside at
No,
least.
no, 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 no. I was outside this weekend, and the people I looked, they was licking their chops when they saw me, Melanie. They was
Oh gosh. Do you need a chaperone? Do I need
I,
to come and chaperone? I
I'm,
I
I might need some adult supervision.
I might have to call somebody so they can be there with you because I don't want to. I don't trust you.
So yeah, I made a big chop, and we'll see how it morphs and shapes. But this is the first time in my life that I have ever cut my hair. Period. The end.
Yes, it was when. Let me tell y'all something. I happened to FaceTime her while she was in the chair, and the style was almost complete. The cut had happened, the color had happened. She answers the FaceTime like this. And
and
here
Melanie
I am on the other end, like,
and Melanie goes, okay, okay.
I said, "Oh shoot, look at this." She threatened to do it. She told me she was maybe going to do it, and then next thing I knew, here we are, girl. But I love it. I told her I was a little jealous, a little bit, because I had a thought later in that day, like, dang, she really ain't gonna have to do nothing to her hair every day.
Wait a minute. Okay, here's what's funny. So I was running late to go to somewhere on Saturday with my family,
Uh-huh.
and my family was like, "Holly, where you at?" And I was like, I had to figure out what to do with my hair.
I said, and now you're just making up
Just
stuff.
like now you
Goodbye.
lying. You just lying.
Goodbye.
You
You're
just
just running late. Goodbye. Uh,
But here's the thing. So when you called me, Melanie, me and my stylist
mm-hmm.
had just finished at least a 2-hour rant about the audacity of these here kids.
Hence the episode, the title of our episode.
Baby,
Uh-huh.
she got so my stylist had a front row seat to all of the prom and cotillion and graduation shenanigans of last year. And so
Okay.
she was
That we're
she was
still paying off. Are we still paying them off?
baby, I will pay it off in time for the next one to graduate and go through it again. I'm gonna be
4 years apart.
4 years apart. And they're
Ah,
and
I digress.
them two heifers is graduating college and high school at the same damn time. I can't win. Y'all be careful. I always say be careful who you procreate with, but also be careful when you procreate, y'all. These 4 years apart is heavy on the budget, honey. So anyway, I'm in the chair, and me and Cori are just talking about the audacity of these children. And so as we were planning our season 3 episode, I said, you know what? We should invite her on to just talk about the struggles of the new age parent in the 2025th year of our
With
little.
these audacious kids.
So I would love to welcome to Dipped with Sweet and Hot, stylist extraordinaire, and so many other things that she's going to tell you about herself. Give it up for Cori Saulsberry.
Hey, come on in, Cori.
Hello,
Welcome
hello. What's going
in.
on,
Welcome
ladies?
in.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
A
Well,
pleasure.
we thank you for
Yeah.
being here. Look, you have something to contribute, I understand, to this conversation about the audacity of these children.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have discovered that I am in an abusive relationship with children that I brought to this place.
Ain't that
So,
something? Like, I brought you here, and now you now you abusing me. Okay,
Yeah.
so first,
yes.
tell the people a little bit about, so you, how many children do you have? How long have you been a parent? All of that. How old are they?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So I have three wonderful, beautiful angels.
Most of the time.
Yes. So my oldest is 21. He is going into his senior year at Morehouse College.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And then my second oldest, or the oldest daughter, is about to go into her freshman year at Zula University in New Orleans.
Come on,
Hey.
And
HBCUs.
yes, yes, we are HBCU proud. And then our youngest is going into her freshman year of high school. So I hear you loud and clear, Holly, when you're saying like those back to back, because we dealt with 8th grade and high school graduation this year. And that was crazy. Like dealing with both the girls at the same time. I was like,
did you have to
baby.
take out a personal loan?
No, but I had to sacrifice a lot of things that I wanted for myself.
And that's
like,
and that's real. That
yes,
sacrifice that parents put forth. And I
yes,
think it's the sacrifice that I'm just guessing because I haven't had children, but I think I would say it's the sacrifice that you make that makes the audacity
yes,
that much more infuriating.
yes,
No,
When you
yes,
legit.
like you
yes. That,
juxtapose the sacrifice, and now I sacrifice this, and now you got the nerve to come at me like that.
yeah,
Like that makes
man.
it that much worse.
Just unappreciated.
Yeah. Okay, so when did you discover? When did you discover that your own children had this unlimited amount of audacity?
I think it's been coming in waves. Like it's never a point where it was like, now we're here. Like my husband and I, we're here. Like we know with the flag has been planted in the soil. We're like, right. So we're being used, and that's the
And abused.
relationship. But I think it was like as the kids are getting older, you realize that you provided this life for them, and basically they are used to it. So I'm kind of to blame. In a
Okay.
way, I created this situation, and I just was like, yeah, but see, if I would have known, if somebody would have told me, like, see, if you do X, Y, Z, this is where you'll end up. I'd have been like, oh, okay, well, let's cut the Y out because we don't need to do.
We don't need to end up as Z.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have to do none of this.
No. But yeah, so here we are. I will say that, yeah, like I said, a lot of it is based on like, oh, because I wanted you to have this life, and I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of trauma parenting, like, oh, I just want to give the world so that you guys will be happy, and they just like Veruca Salt. They like
I got the reference.
don't care how I want it now.
Willy Wonka. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, but it's interesting that you say that though, because as a third party observer, right, I have to observe parent-child relationships from a third party since I'm not raising my own children. That was one of the things that I have just had thoughts that I have had, just like, I wonder, are they like this because that it is that the fruit of like enabling, or like is that the fruit of the generation ahead of us, like our older generation might be like, y'all spoiling these kids, you know what I
Yes.
mean, or whatever. And
Yes.
is it, and so it sounds like what you like you're connecting the dots now, that like it was coming from a place of love to be able to give kids some of the things that maybe we didn't have, when we were growing up, and to provide a certain kind of life for them. But because they've never known anything different, they feel entitled to it.
Yes. And to your point, I was talking to my mother-in-law, and that is one of the things that she gave back to me. She was like, I cannot fault you all for the way you raise these kids. Like you raised them well. You and your husband did it. Nobody else can take credit for it. She said, but the one fault that I can find is that you gave them this voice as well. And she was like, and I understand the voice, like you gave it to them because you wanted them to be able to advocate for themselves and to be, have these open and transparent conversations. Again, like, trying to bridge that gap between from where we came from, where it was because I said so. And but we believed our parents, like, okay, yeah, like, well, that sounds right. Like you've been here before me. So, but also knowing growing up in that, how it can be a little frustrated because it's like, yeah, I get it, but it's like things are different. Times have changed. So it can't just be because you said so. Like, let's talk this out. So, bringing that into our parenting. And then it's like, Uno reverse. Maybe you
She came back and bitch your ass a little bit.
Yeah, like, wait a minute.
So tell us, okay, so do you have an example? Like, Sarah, share a story with us. Like, what's something that happened where you were like, these kids?
I mean, it's more so the audacity of like the feedback or the comments later after you've done something, or you feel like, oh, okay, I did that. Like I accomplished that. Like we got through that. And the kids are kind of like, yeah, well, here's the thing. like, let me give you your performance review. You thought it was that, but it's not really that. Those are the situations where you're like, the audacity. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So something had happened when our oldest daughter, she turned 16. She had a fabulous sweet 16 party. And it was like something that we would have seen on MTV. And as we're planning it, I'm not realizing that it's going to be that. I just was like, okay, she's gonna have a little sweet 16. And she kept telling me, like, I'm kind of popular. Like, I think a lot of people are gonna come. When it was all said and done, she had over 200 people at this party. Yeah, yes.
Cori.
Yeah. And it was a beautiful night. We had a great time. But then
You and
something
200 of
maybe
your closest
came.
friends.
Yes, it was like she basically had her own mini homecoming. It was crazy. Like the kids were like, tell your parents we want you to have another party. And we were like, whoa, like, wait a minute. So, but all of that to say that, maybe the next week or something, she was asking for something else. And I was like, hey, we just got through with that. Like, hold on. And she was like, your dad wanted to do that for me. She was like, you wanted to. Yeah. Yeah. So she's like, what are you saying? Like, I don't understand. Because you wanted that.
That was just as meaningful to you as it was to me. So why are you talking about it?
This is where parents of old used to say, hold my mule. Like,
yeah. And I think sometimes I'm so taken aback by the audacity that I can't even respond in the correct way, because I'm usually like, wait, what? Like, you're talking to me? Like, oh, okay.
Like, let me get my thoughts together first. Like, how do I respond? Now you and your husband got to have a conference about how you respond to this.
I'll be in the shower in the morning like, I should have said.
Yeah, the best response 3 hours later.
Listen, trying to chat GPT your parental responses this day and age. It's just like, how do I respond to this shenanigans from a 16-year-old?
Literally, because I also feel like we're in such a tight space, because this is also the generation of TikTok therapy and, and being able to use these trigger words of trauma and things like that. So, as a parent, I am, I'm concerned about that. I'm like, well, God, I don't want to mess my kids up. Like, goodness, like, okay, so how should I respond to this?
Mm-hmm.
I want them to have good conflict resolution. Like, I just can't come in like a storm, and you know what I'm saying? And then I know how, like, especially if something is going on in the morning, like, you don't want that to color your whole day. Like, I'm sending you off to school, I'm going to work. Like, you know what I mean? I want home to be peace. That's it. That's too much to ask. But yeah, so it's been rough, because I'm like, all right, like I keep dipping back in. Like I'll say, like, and that's the last time I'm gonna let that happen to me.
And they get you every time.
Yeah. And then they come back and then they sweet, or you remember that it's like, oh yeah, this is my baby, or or they bring home a good grade, or they did something, good at school, in the club or
They're like
organization.
legit Sour Patch Kids.
Yes.
Well, no, to me, I'm sitting here thinking it goes back to your thesis statement, which that you're in an abusive relationship. Like, this is toxicity. Yes.
No, legit. And you know what else? I've actually told this to my nieces too. Even as an auntie, right? We don't have a manual. We're going to jack these kids up. Like, because we were jacked up as kids, and not on purpose, and the cycle continues. And so all we can do is just equip them with the resources to unjack themselves should they ever feel the need.
Yes.
However, that should not make us live in fear as the
next time
of the adult, as the adult in the situation, trying to rear these kids in this hard, cruel, cold ass world.
Yes.
It's so funny. I was talking, I don't know if I was talking to you, Melanie, or somebody else, when I said, my parents didn't finish the sentence. They said, don't grow up too fast now, period. I needed a because behind that. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't say don't grow up too fast because you will have to pay taxes and this and that, da, 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 da. And then when you look at your budget, you got two nickels to run together, to rub together, to feed yourself for the week. They didn't finish the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this day and age, I try to finish the sentence for kids. I try to tell them, hey, I'm disciplining you, but this is why. Because we're trying to avoid this or teach you this particular lesson or whatnot.
But if I were to play devil's advocate just a little bit, because I understand, I too wanted the rest of that sentence growing up.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know the explanation behind what you said. I didn't get it all the
Mm-hmm.
time, but I did, like you, I had a desire. But I think the flip side of it and what's making it so hard for parents these days who like is because when you start giving the rest of that sentence and you start giving that explanation behind what you're saying, I think what we have now on our hands is a generation of children who, first of all, feel entitled to an explanation. Second
Mm-hmm.
of all, feel like they're equipped to be able to debate with you and like argue with you. Because
There's that.
I've actually seen that happen, and I've seen it happen with
Mm-hmm.
like children who are young. Like Cori's youngest child is currently about to enter high school. I've seen it happen in children who are nowhere near high school age, but
Mm-hmm.
it's this generation of children who feel like they are as smart as, if not more smart than their parents. So then they feel both entitled and equipped to have intellectual debate with their parents about certain things. And
Let me
so
tell you something.
I've seen it happen where they're like kids think they're smarter than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know what you getting ready to say 5 minutes before you said it. But they
Yes.
don't know that they don't know that I know that. So they feel
Mm-hmm.
like empowered to come to me to debate me about what I just said. They want to debate, they
And you
want
know
to
what I tell?
negotiate.
You know what I tell kids? I do not negotiate with terrorists.
And you got to have that boundary.
I don't
Yes.
negotiate with terrorists. Like what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but do you
But
agree,
yes,
Cori? Like,
yes,
yeah,
you are spot on. I think what it does is, yeah, you have opened up the room for engagement now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mm-hmm.
like now it's this thing. So again, it's that curse of me wanting you to have a voice, me wanting you to be knowledgeable and informed and all these things. But now those gifts, those powers are being wielded against me.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Because
it
they
make
think they can
sense.
manipulate. The thing is, they think they can
Yes,
manipulate you now. Like they
yes.
think they can say the things they need to say, and like so. I don't know what was your response going back to your story, because I know you came up with a better one in the shower later. But like,
Yes.
what was your response in the moment when she was like, "You and Dad wanted to do that for me"?
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. That still hurts my spirit.
yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of a I'll show you better than I can tell you type of
Mm,
parent
mm-hmm.
Okay.
because of that whole like, oh, if we get into something and we're gonna go back and forth, it's like, you know what? No. Because at the end of the day, I know that I have the upper hand because you will need me before I need you. So I'm going to show you what it
That
is. Like
part.
if I can't get you to see by trying to, to appeal to your higher self, but then I'm gonna have to show you like, okay, well, let me pull all the way back and show you what it isn't. So then you can get it. So yeah, so then when it was like, you wanted to do that for me, I was like, huh. I was like, we'll see how much more I want to do for you.
Oh,
We'll see. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
yeah.
And let me tell you something. Listen, that tactic that was always effective for me. Like my parents had many things in the discipline bag and in the correction bag, many tools that they would pull out. But one of them that they frequently went back to and from was like, oh, I'm just gonna start taking away things. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
taking away privileges, taking
Yes.
away you can't participate in this, you can't participate in that. I'm no longer funding this. Like, you know what
Yes.
I mean? That type of thing.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
chuckling. I'm chuckling because as a kid, I will never forget, and I'm the kid that Cori hates. As a kid, I can't remember what I did, but I was a latchkey kid, so I was on punishment and couldn't watch television when I got home from school.
Mm.
And you had to self-govern that.
And I had to listen, my mama was the police. It was governed, self or not. It was
Okay.
governed. I better not. But my smart self did not. When my mother walked in, I was playing Nintendo, like the original Nintendo. She was like,
Mm.
I thought I told you not to watch TV. And I was like, I'm not watching TV.
I'm not.
I'm playing a video game.
I'm playing a video game.
That's not the same thing.
And it was the first time I had ever seen my mother be like,
Uh-huh.
you got me there. You got me. You got me.
Yeah.
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 But that look,
Yes.
I am here to say that's the only time I tried that. It wasn't. Yeah. After that, it was she didn't leave nothing to chance. Don't you interpret.
Everything was very explicit.
It's
Yes,
very explicit.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. But you know you have a like a child that is like, okay, here's the line, and they're like, all right, I'm gonna get as close to it as I can
Because
before
I'm not crossing. It's like that. I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching
Okay.
you.
So Cori, knowing what is going on in the world today, you got two of your kids about to be away from home, the third in short order. How do you balance that gusto, that audacity with the reality of the world that they're living in and the adulthood that they're entering? Like,
Mm.
you know how some people say, wanna be gangsters, you can try that over here, but that ain't gonna fly over here.
Mhm.
Sometimes that concerns me about our kids because we have given them so much knowledge and so much autonomy and so much voice, but how is that gonna measure up when they get out here and off our bag, off our dime, and God forbid something happens and they don't have us to fall back on?
Right. I feel like that is something that I'm entering in that next level like of
Mm.
parenting now,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like starting to see, especially with our son, and just how he's maturing, how it's like certain things I'm like, right, okay, we need to go back. We need to go back. I need to address that.
We gotta review
And
that
it's
lesson.
yeah, and especially since like now I'm seeing because now I will say when Caleb went away to school, like honestly, probably within the first 2 months, like we brought him back home, just because that's my baby and we missed him. And I was like, oh, come home, like come home for the weekend. But I immediately saw the change in him, like what Morehouse does for a young man. I
Mm.
immediately saw those things. And now it's more of teaching him to how to have that like discernment, because I also think that he grew up in a world where like obviously a lot was given to you, but you were in other environments where it was like everybody was, what I'm saying, pretty much the same, like
Mm. Very
same type of
homogenous.
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so now he's starting to go out, but I'm I'm starting to see some of the fruits of our labor. Like he came back and he was like, "Well, people just wasn't raised right." Like I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see what you've been saying. I'm sure Morgan has
Okay.
stories too, Holly. Like now
She
that she's
does.
been away
She
at
does.
school.
She
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, some of this is good. Like it worked. Like and there are other times where I'm also like the frontal lobe's not fully formed, so it's okay. We still got time. We still got time, so
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
right.
It's important to
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I
We're
think
still
just
working.
remember, yes, like, but that whole, this is something that I've been trying to impress upon Caleb too. Like, I'm trying to give you a little bit of rope at a time
Mm-hmm.
because you won't just instantly learn how to be an adult unless I give you some of these things. And more so now that he's older, it's I think we do have a nice like push and pull where it doesn't feel like parenting. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Okay.
trying to instill these things in you. It's like, okay, like I know I put these things in you already. Like, so now let me try to water it a little bit and see how
Reinforce.
it can exactly like
Mm-hmm.
how it grows naturally within you.
Oh, I like
So
that.
so yeah, that's my approach now. So, but also let me say, I don't have it all figured out because what I have learned from these three is I have to parent them all differently too. What has worked for one
That's so true. I've seen
does
that as
not
well.
work for the other two. Yeah. And
Mm.
that's my, growing pain as the parent. I'm like, oh, okay, like that that was a
Like,
cluster F.
oh,
Like,
I'm really four different people. I'm a wife and a mother and three different types of mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I used to think about that because I'm the oldest of three. Like I used to feel like, oh my God, my mom is so soft on my siblings, and you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I realized that it's like you do kind of have to mold yourself and adapt yourself as a parent to that child because everybody, just like everybody doesn't learn the same, it's the same type of thinking. Like
Now
Mm-hmm.
let
you
me
gotta
let me ask this question. Now I'm hearing you talk and I'm hearing all of the lovey-dovey and that's my baby and we want the best for them. What do they daddy say about this audacity?
oh, honestly, you'd be surprised. Like, so Clint, I feel like he has such like this outward exterior that's like, oh, he's tough, and you know what I'm saying. So I get that other side of him. So I
Uh-huh.
get that side of him where he's like, I just can't believe it. Like where he's heartbroken almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's never gonna show that to anybody else. But he's just like, I do everything for these kids. Like, I just can't believe they would treat me like this. And I'll be like, but that's what makes me more mean. Cause then I go downstairs and I'm like, cause y'all got daddy mad. And now I gotta deal with him.
I am crying laughing because why are fathers like that? My brother, when Morgan lied to him for the first time, he was like, why would she lie? She didn't have to lie. Like what? Like his soul was hurt.
Yes, literally, that is Clint. Like, so, I feel like, yeah, as fathers, like, they got this, so like I said, outwardly to the kids, they're always like, oh God, dad's gonna mad, he's gonna yell, like Clint is gonna fuss. That's his shit. Like, excuse me, but
No, no, you're
that's
fine.
his,
Yeah, it's
yes,
fine.
but he's definitely gonna let you know, like, this is how I feel about it. You will not be confused. There will not be, any like gray area, like, oh, okay, dad is mad. But like to me, he's just like, I'm disappointed. I mean, I put everything into this. It's like working on a project in school, and
And you
you
got an
come
F.
back.
You gotta add. It's like,
Like,
wait a minute. I
hold
did,
on, like
I
I
did
did
my
everything.
best. Yeah.
I tried. Tried.
My goodness.
So
After that kind of
yes,
investment.
So,
yes,
so I know we could talk about this because we did 2 3 hours ourselves in the chat.
yes, we
Okay.
did. Yes.
But what hopes and what are your hopes and fears as your children come into their own and own their own innate sense of courage and their audacity?
My hope is, again, like all of this that you're using against me, is that you go out and use it against them, because that's the reason. That's why we here. Like, that's why I taught it to you.
Like, I'm not
Like, I
the
don't
enemy.
understand.
They are. The
Right.
enemy is
Exactly. I'm
outside.
like, you're using me for target practice.
Go
Like, it
get
ain't great,
them.
guys. It worked, but yeah, the enemy was that way. So that's definitely the hope. Said this to my daughter before, because she realized we had kind of got into a spat, and she realized weeks later, like, oh, okay, I'm wrong. Like, let me apologize. And so I congratulated her for coming to that conclusion. But I said, next time, because she ended up saying, I knew I was wrong, like immediately after. But it took her all this time to admit that. And I told
Mm.
her, I said, as much fire that you came on your chest with how you wanted to talk to me and to me be a little disrespectful, like, you know what I mean? That's how you should have came with that apology when you knew you were
Mm.
wrong. You can't wait when you know. So I feel like those are the fears, like that hoping that it's like okay, like when you know that you messed up, like let's course correct right away.
Yeah, take
Because
Mm-hmm.
accountability.
exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's my biggest, want for those kids to be able to, because I feel like that's what's wrong right now. We got a bunch of people that are of an adult age
Oh, mm,
that do not possess the skills to be held accountable, to take
Mm-hmm.
accountability, to you know what I'm saying,
I agree.
and admit when they're wrong. They want to focus it on everything else. Well, I did this because you did that. Well, I did that
Be
because they said
audacious
that.
enough, be big and bad and audacious enough to admit that you're wrong, and
Yes,
be able to do it as loud with your, like you said, with your chest.
yes,
Be able to
yes,
do it as loud as the offense was. That's what they say. Like the apology
yes,
should be just as loud as
oh,
the
heck yeah. I
offense.
believe
yes,
in that.
And like
yes,
I
yes,
believe
be
in that.
audacious enough to say you're wrong and to
yes,
say it loudly enough and to deal with the
yes,
consequences of that, right?
yes. So did
Yeah.
you all see? I don't watch it, but Basketball Wives with Jackie Christie and her daughter. This has been like the whole thing.
No,
I have
I don't
seen
know.
like one episode where the daughter was like yapping off at the mouth, and then
Yes.
Jackie jumped up and they was about to beat each other. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, at first, the story got out before the episode came out. So I've only seen the clips. Like I said, I haven't watched this season. I haven't watched seasons for some time, but there's been a big debate online because Jackie Christie swings on her daughter. And so, you
Like
have people
physically,
coming
like
from,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yes, yes.
yes, yes.
okay.
And so you have, people on both sides of the debate, like saying, like, I don't care, like, right, wrong, and indifferent. That's your mother. You never raise a hand to her. Like, if you talk to her crazy, you're going to get dealt with like you
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And then, you have the other side where people are like, you guys don't know what it is to, grow up with a toxic parent, with a toxic
Mm-hmm.
mother. And I can't speak to it, but I do know that after the altercation happened, the daughter went downstairs and told everybody, like, she just swung on me. And that's something that I've noticed that kids will do. Like, I'm going to tell my part of it and how I was damaged.
And not the whole tea. Tell
And
the
it's
whole
like,
Mm.
story.
tell the whole story.
And I think that that's so important, especially too. It's an important skill for youth to learn, because
Yes.
accountability is what's going to drive you in your professional life and your personal life. Like that's how
Yes.
you relate to one another, is by taking ownership of your part in the relationship, good
It's the
and
foundation of healthy
exactly
relationship.
good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
know what I mean? So you have to you. I wish more people taught folks
Yeah, I'm
accountability.
about to say, like, I've always
Yeah.
said that if I ever had children, because of what you said, Cori, about encountering adults in the world that don't take accountability and cannot admit when they're wrong or what their contribution to something has been, I have
Mm-hmm.
always, that's been a pet peeve of mine. And I've always said that if I was ever in a position to have that kind of impact and imprint on a child's life, one thing they're going to learn from me is how to admit when they're wrong
Mm-hmm.
and consequences. And I actually, we don't have time for me to tell the story, but I was in a situation where I did have the opportunity because I was teaching acting for some kids in summer school. And I had a chance to teach those kids about consequences and accountability when they didn't do their homework.
Mm.
And I would like to say that there were other adults, other faculty who disagreed with what I did. They thought I was being too hard
Mm.
on these kids. They thought I was doing this. And they were like, "You really not gonna let them?" Did they really not do it? Did they really not do the assignment? Did I really tell them that if they didn't do the assignment, that this would be the consequence? Okay,
And that's a life
they really
skill.
cannot. And that's what I said. I was like, if they don't learn, if they don't remember anything about monologues, about analyzing text, about stage presence, that I was really there to teach as an acting teacher, they're going to remember that I taught them about consequences and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
I'm
Absolutely.
okay with that as the takeaway.
What positively audacious things have your children done that have made you proud as a parent?
If you can just think of like an example of
Mm.
something that I was like, oh, that took a lot of audacity. That took
That
a
took
lot
a
of
lot of
courage.
courage for you to go out and do this.
Mm,
And you like, that's
I
my,
feel like, oh yeah, okay. I feel like I want to say one for each of them.
yeah, please do. Please
Let
do.
me, okay, so I would say for Corinne,
Mm-hmm. That's the baby.
um, yes, that's my youngest. Um, a couple of ways where her audacity has surprised me has been in her like resilience, her way to pivot. Um, and kind of like stand up for herself. And I think that's because she's the baby. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
she used to fighting them battles, like it's fine. But we ended up having to move her in the middle of seventh grade to another school because we had some issues with the principal and the teacher and all of that. But it was the way that she stood up for herself, and she was right. Like she was like, no, like I'm gonna say how I feel. And you know, normally I think as parents, you know, we want to side with adults all the time. And I was like, no, like my baby, she stood up for herself, like because he wasn't right. Like, and I reported the teacher and everything. So it made me feel good, but the school still tried to punish her. And she was like, they were going on a field trip or something like that. And so they were like, you still have to serve this detention. And this is before like he was suspended and all of that. And I told her, I was like, you're not going to serve that detention because we're still trying to get to the bottom of it and blah, blah, blah. She came home that day and she said, I served my detention. She said, because I didn't want any of my privileges taken away. We have field trip coming up. She was like, they can deal with it the way. And I said, oh, so it was like, it wasn't just her standing up for herself against the teacher, but it was her saying, like, it's fine. I'm going to give them what they want because I want to get what I want. And I was like, okay. All
Okay,
right,
Okay.
Corinne.
exactly. Yes,
All
That's
right,
very dope.
Rennie.
yes, yes. And it probably is all these situations. Like same thing with Kyler. She has been an advocate for herself, like especially when it comes to school, when it comes to you know her teachers, everything. So these are the times where I'm like, yeah, like I taught you that, like, but it comes back on me. But like when I see it, like you know, on somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
But she had one instance where, unfortunately, another young lady that she goes to school with did not like her, and she sat down with that young lady. They had mediation, and she told her, she said, "You don't like me for things that I cannot control." She said, "You don't like me because the boy that you like likes me." She was like, "But I don't like him, so it's nothing. There's nothing to talk about." She said, "You don't like me because of the way that I look." She's like, "That's nothing that I can control." She was like, "So we can either be friends, or you either have to just like let it go." Like you know, she was like, "But this whole like you know, so." And I was like, Kyla, you like this girl, they had to have mediation because this girl kept saying, I'm gonna beat you up. And I was like, you said that to her? Like, cause I'm thinking if a girl said that to me, it's like the way I'm smacking five from you right away, like, girl, shut up. Like, because it's true.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay. I'm like, okay,
Not
you right.
Kyler reading to people.
Tell the girl. And it was like, and this is in, you know, in front of the APs and all of that. And they were like, yeah, well, like you know, like nobody had anything to say, and I think the other young lady was like, and they are friends to this day because of that. Yeah,
Wow.
I
yeah. Kyler was
love
A
like,
very,
that.
very mature response.
yeah. I just was like, okay, and so I told her, I'm like, you will be a formidable woman, girl. Like I see it. It's all on you. And then I would say for Caleb, I think it's the audacity of him being a rapper now. Like it's so crazy to me. Yes. So that was not on our bucket list. I mean, little background, like I said, my son is going into his fourth year of Morehouse. He is an econ major. He is there on a full academic ride. So like my son is studious and you know, but always has been into fashion and things like that. So, you know, the music part came naturally to him, but it was something he did completely on his own. And like I went to his first show. Like I was just like, let me catch a red eye. He had a show in New York at SOBs, and like he got up on that stage, and I just was like, who is this kid? Like this is my kid, and he
That
just was
is
up there and
insane.
dancing, and I was like, the audacity! This is my child. Like what?
I love this.
Yeah, that's something that I was like, okay, like we did something. We did something right. We're doing something right, like to produce
Absolutely.
these kids, you know. So I think at the end of the day, I have to take it all in stride because I know that if they're giving me their worst, they're not giving it to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take it.
Oh, that's a bar.
Good job,
Yeah.
Mom. Good job, Mom. Mom and Dad.
Mom and
Thank
Dad.
you.
Cori, thank you so much. Thank you for like joining us. And
This was very fun. Thank
yeah,
you.
we had fun too. Well, we can talk about these kids and their audacity a long time.
Now,
But
Cori,
it's good to
before
know it swings both ways.
absolutely.
Positively
Yes.
and
But
negatively.
listen, it still be FTK because
because that's where we are right now. It's too
Okay.
much.
yes.
Cori, where can folks find you and what you've been up to? You, your husband, your kids, the rapper. Like what's
Yes, right.
what's all that's
Yes.
going on?
So yes, on Instagram I am Bronze Cori because I
Ooh.
also have a skincare line, Bronze Glory, and made with
Yes.
melanated skin in mind. Yes, yes. And then yeah, I mean from there you can find everything else. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I am still
Linktree bio, yeah.
hairstyling, but you know, the book is closed.
Fair enough. There
Yes.
it is.
All right, Cori, we appreciate you. Thank you so
Thank
much for coming on.
Thank you,
you.
Cori.
Thank you.
Happy
All
back
right.
to school. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Go with God. Take care. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that Cori was able to join us to talk about these doggone kids.
Me
And
too.
listen, the name of the episode is FTK, but we really love our babies. And we really we really think it's important to listen to them when they talk because that's how you get fully formed adults eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Melanie, you ready to switch gears?
Yeah, we're gonna switch into something we're introducing newer this season. This is a newer feature for our episode, and it's called we're gonna call this story time. I like to
Story time.
affectionately refer to it as I know you lying.
I know.
But basically, we're going to bring you some audacious stories of things happening out there in the world with people that we found intriguing and that we feel like are relevant to discuss here with you. So we found this clip. Hollee found this clip actually about something that's happening out in the world, and we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna I'm gonna let her set it up.
So we've been talking about children, and so this clip is from a gentleman, a father that was sitting on a panel talking about his daughter.
I would always try to hug and kiss her. She kind of pushed me away. Like, it's all good. You know what I mean? Then it kind of became a joke for a few years. And then, she got a little bit older. And so one day, I asked her, I said, hey, we good? She's like, yeah. Why would you ask me that? I said, well, every time, dad tries to give you a hug, kiss you on the cheek or whatever, you're always pushing me away. And she looked at me and she said, and she was a little bit more developed than girls her age. And she looked at me and she said, because you are the only man that when I tell you not to touch me and stop, you do it.
So y'all, that's what's gonna happen this season. We're gonna leave you with a little food for thought. And all I'm gonna say is log in for the next episode. Tune in to the next episode. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. But for now, I'm Melanie Loren.
And I'm Hollee Chanel. And this has been
Dip with Sweet and Hot Season 3, The Audacity.
Take care.
See you next time.
Peace.